Today I'm replacing the chain and sprockets on my KTM 300XC, not because they're worn out, it's just because I'm going on sort of an adventure ride, and this is not the bike for this. But it's all I have, so I'll replace the 13 in front with a 14 and the 15 in the back with a 45. So that'll allow me to go faster, and well, for same speed the engine will run a little slower, so that's going to give me a chance if we go on open roads. Drawbacks, if I go on single track and very technical stuff, that might not cut it, but that's not the goal. And as soon as I'm done with this ride, I'm replacing the tank. I'm putting back the stock tank, I'm putting back the stock gearing, and also the tires. Well, right now they're stock, but I'll replace them too. The engine power itself won't be enough in most cases to turn the bolt. Everything will just turn. So you want to have someone like pushing on the brake for the rear wheel, or someone holding the rear wheel as you remove this. And well, it's not biggie, but I just had to put the chain back on temporarily on the back sprocket and the front one. Now my son, he's actually just pushing, and he weighs about 20 pounds wet, so you don't need that much pressure. Play this, Rika. Okay, maybe you do need pressure. Okay, so you might be tempted to remove the wheel right now because you're gonna play with sprockets, but if you do that, the chain will be loose and it's gonna be hard to remove the master link. So just leave it on, bring the master link on the sprocket right here, you can see it, and put the bike in gear. This way the wheel stops spinning. There, just get a flathead screwdriver, and I'm using a rubber mallet, but you can use anything really. That's it. Oh, it's stuck on there. Wow, it's stuck good. Now I want to reuse this chain, but this link, I could actually use the chain breaker, but I shouldn't need that. Just tapping it gently. It's coming off right now. That's it. You can see the O-rings. They'll be provided with the new master link, so I'm not going to use those. Now I just need to bring the link out and the chain's on. I'll put it back to neutral and pull the chain. On this nut, you don't remove it all the way, so we can use it just to tap the axle in. I did remove it all the way. Let me put it back on a bit. Tap it in. Move it, remove the block. Then once I remove the axle, there's no chain right now to prevent this wheel from falling. If the chain's on, you just move it on the side, but in my case, nothing. So I'll just remove the wheel. Okay, so remove the sprocket, T45 and 30 millimeters. Well, that's for my wheel. Different bikes might be different, I guess. So old sprocket out, and again this one I'm going to reuse. It's still in good shape. It only has maybe 10 hours. Well, it does have 10 hours because the bike only has 10 hours. So I'm going to keep this for reuse when I need the bike for a single track. New sprocket right here. the original sprocket was aluminum. This one is steel. Yeah, it's heavier. It's not going to change anything. I mean, worst case, it'll just last longer. Yeah, one thing I almost forgot to Loctite, because you don't want this to come off when you're riding. That would be bad. Yes, there are 6 of them, but if you lose one, chances are you're going to lose more than one. So I'm just going to put them where they belong right now, and I'm going to torque them afterwards. I'm going to use the my manual to look at the torque specs.
Allez Lucas. C'est quoi là?
Merci. Chut, pas. Now I'm not gonna torque this nut because I'll need to adjust the chain with the wheel on. So I'll just leave it on like this. It's wobbly, but that's okay. That's all I need. And I'll use 8mm socket to remove the chain guide. Now my other bike, I only removed the front part and I lifted it. There are 2 bolts holding this. And yeah, I can just loosen the other one, which apparently is not number 8. It appears to be 8-10mm. Let me just put it in view. It's right here. And this one is a 10mm. I'll just loosen it a bit and I can move the whole thing out of the way. Sprocket removed. I'll clean everything. Can't tell, new sprocket is larger than the old one. It's a 14 tooth instead of 13. We just put it on. Those KTMs, you only have to put the washer and the bolt back. And in this case, don't forget the Loctite. Saying this because of experience. Last year I went on this same ride I'm going this year that night, and I replaced everything before I left in the parking lot over there. I replaced the sprockets and the chain because they were wearing out. And what happened? I used the Torx and everything like I always do, but I did not put any Loctite. At some point during our ride, I lost this countershaft bolt. So I was without my bike really. We had to, I removed the chain and someone towed me for, I don't know, like 4 or 5 kilometers. So we found a little, a bunch of guys at their cottages and found a bucket of bolt. We managed to get something that fit, put it on, and we're back on our way for another maybe, I don't know, 20 kilometers. Then we took a break. It was gone again because we did not use the right kind of bolt. It was not a metric bolt, it was a standard one, and it didn't fit as well as should have. So, ended up replacing it again. And I applied Loctite and so much torque. No way out. I was going to lose it again. Alright, for the torque, it's going to be the same deal as I did. I'll use the chain on, someone holding the brake, and I'll be able to apply as much torque as I want. And by as much torque, I mean as much torque as I need according to my manual. Now for the bolts, put them back. I could leave it off. It might be easier to remove, to install my chain, but this won't be an issue. I'm gonna loosen the chain adjusters and loosen, I said. So what I'll do, I'll just push it in to make it shorter, the wheelbase, and I'll install my chain. After a little while, the chain will expand, it'll stretch, and that'll allow me to play, so I can adjust it back. If you put it too far back, then you might need to remove a link when the chain stretches, and it happened to me before. It's just more work. And honestly, I'm not too concerned about the length of the wheelbase, especially not for this ride. So I'll try to make it about same length. When I adjust it afterwards, I'll make sure it is, because if you put it further back on one side, the wheel it'll be sideways. It won't be centered, aligned, I should say. And that looks like that's good. I'll keep doing the chain. It's a cheap chain, but it's just for that one ride. And it comes with a quick link, master link. On new chains, they often come with a wax coating, and this one is no exception. Just put it on and make everything dirty. I just ran it through the front sprocket, and then I'm bringing it back to the rear wheel, passing it through the chain guide, and this is where you want it. Make everything tight and leave it there. So as you can see, I have half a link. It should be like this to put the new master link. Now it's too loose. If I do this, so I'll bring it in just a bit more, see if I can adjust it enough. If not, could make it longer and then remove one link when I need, or I could put this block backwards, which I did before. I would not recommend that because the amount of metal holding the little adjuster bolt here is not the same. It shouldn't be an issue because ultimately it's the torque you put on the nut that's holding the bolt. It's holding the wheel and everything. But if you can, adjust it right away. Just do it right in the first place. Perfect, almost. It's all the way in, but it'll work. Eventually the chain will stretch and I'll be able to move it backwards. Like I said, I could give one more link, but I would bring it further back, and I don't know, just leave it like this for now. It's good. So I gotta cut this right here. I'm gonna use my chain breaker, which is right here. Now, well, yeah, this is easy enough. Just want to okay, chain breaker, we good on camera? Yeah, kind of. So I'll just put it sideways like this. I just want to push the pin in, and I'm not sure you can see, but it don't matter really. I'll just push the pin in, and you'll see afterwards. Now this one's really, really tight. Now once you remove one side, you want to remove the other one right here, because it's pushing sideways and it won't go through the whole thing. So just remove one of the two, push it in, and afterwards push the other one. Now again, I could have gave it one more link, but I know where I'm going, and I'm going to be stuck in the woods for a while, and I don't want to remove links if I can avoid. This is so good. There you go. I'll just remove the other link, and there's my chain with the correct length-ish. Master link, it'll come with the actual link, the plate, the clip, O-rings, and grease. So you want to take the O-rings, there's 4 of them. Well, that's if you have an O-ring chain, which this one is. Then you'll put them in here, and I'll grease everything up. That's 1 O-ring, 2 O-rings. I'll get the grease. Yeah, I don't need to grease everything, but there's plenty of grease. So, back on the chain. And then the O-rings with a bit of grease again, because there's enough. Just grease everywhere. It don't matter. And plate, and the clip. Now to put a clip on, you want to make sure this one is pushed all the way so the clip will fit in grooves on the link. So use a pair of pliers, push it in. Now I can actually see the grooves. Push it a bit more with stronger pliers. There you go. That should be good. Yeah, it is good. The retaining clip goes this way because chain is spinning that way. And if this were to get caught on a branch or rock or something, it could come off and then you lose the chain. That'd be bad. So this goes in like this, and you just push it in. You can use a pair of pliers if you want to. Just want to make sure I got my grooves right. It's in. It's not going anywhere. Is it in? Kind of. I'll push it a little more. There you go. That's how you replace the chain. Now I'll just adjust my wheel. adjust the length, tighten everything, and that's it. I'm ready to go.